Oh my god, it's open. It smells like a new book. My god, she is gorgeous. I wonder who this is supposed to be. Is it Rice? Oh my god, this is a big boy. Look at this. Are you kidding me? This is gorgeous. Oh my god. All right. Hello everyone. Welcome to my House of Flame and Shadow reading vlog. I am so excited. I haven't done a reading vlog in a while. Like, I did not vlog Kingdom of Ash. I did not vlog the first two Crescent City books, but I feel like because of the nature of this book, I need to vlog it. I don't know how to do this reading vlog without spoilers. This video is for people that have read this book and have read all of her other books. I am shook to my core right now. Hunt Athalar has found himself in some deep holes in his life. Come on, Sarah, like come on. You know exactly what you're doing. I have to finish Divine Rivals and then I'm gonna start this. My goal is to finish Divine Rivals tonight and start this tonight, so. Ow, just pulled a muscle. Okay. Okay, so I did make kind of a half resolution to myself that I was gonna like not vlog in my like PJs anymore with bad lighting and my frownies. But I'm like reading this now and I want to give you my live reaction to this one thing. First of all, what a big boy she is. Again, this is not spoiler free. As you may or may not know if you've been watching my videos for a while, Nesta Archeron is my favorite character of all time. I want to play her more than I've ever wanted to play a person, a fae, a female. So you can imagine when page 50 came along and Amryn says, "Get Nesta." Nesta and Bryce going at it, even though it was like kind of short-lived, I'm so excited for where this is gonna go. Like, even just reintroducing her from someone's perspective who has not met her yet kind of makes me feel like I'm seeing her for the first time as well, which is just so special. When she's dismissed and she turns to Bryce and says, "It's in your best interest to cooperate with them, you know." She's speaking from literal experience. Sorry, I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna geek out. Like, probably most of this is gonna be me reacting to Nesta stuff. All right, I'm gonna just read, fall asleep, and then this will be cuter tomorrow. Good night. Like, I honestly just can't believe I'm reading this. It's surreal. I know that sounds so dramatic, but I'm like not processing it because it's so surreal that like we get more with these characters. Like, it's just, I'm so happy. I'm so excited to keep reading. I almost don't want to read it because I don't want it to be over. Sarah J. Maas, I love you. Okay, hey guys. I guess it's a day or two later. I'm so happy. I want reading this book to last literally forever. As someone that shares my reading with people on YouTube and on Instagram, there is kind of like this new feeling of like wanting to get through things to make sure I have enough to like talk about and to share and recommend to you guys. But with this, I just want to read it slowly. Like I want it to last so long. You know, I'm only on page 218, so I just wanted to share a few beginning thoughts. First thought is Lydia the Hind. What an interesting character. Double agents. Every rebellion needs them, right? But there is sort of this moral gray area with her. And I don't necessarily understand all of her choices, like when she tried to get the one sprite to like torture the other one, and it's all a little confusing to me. Another thing, my tea's boiling. God, like with the three guys in the dungeons getting tortured, it's so grotesque. Sarah J. Maas. Ooh, like that one part where Sarah J. Maas was like, oh, then Rune looked down and saw his small intestines spilling out of his body and hitting the floor. It's just like, I really like where everything is going with the setup of Ethan and the new Alpha and like that whole gang of trolls. Sarah J. Maas is so good at like, we kind of have like these three things going on. The third I'll get to in a second with Bryce and Nesta. And you know that they're all going to tie in so well at the end. So Nesta and Bryce in the tunnel together. I want them to be best friends. I think that they are in a lot of ways very similar. They both have this attitude. They're both pretty fiery individuals in different ways. And they're kind of unapologetic about it. And I think that they're going to grow to really like respect each other. I'm really hoping, like I just want them to be besties. The moment where Nesta slayed I think it's the worm, like that big thing where she put the mask on and slayed the worm. I was just like, what kind of good karma have I acquired throughout the course of my life to deserve such an incredible scene with my favorite character? I'm really loving the whole like Midgard, and I forget what the Akatar world is. They're both composed of the same creatures and everything because they come from the same world. It's just interesting to see like how certain creatures and like ideas are named, and like the structures of each world is so different but has the same creatures and things happening, if that makes sense. For example, the fact that the Illyrians and the angels are probably the same species but they're called something completely different. What it means to be an Illyrian and I think what it means to be an angel, there's similarities but they're also like completely different in both worlds. The Fae are also like similar but different in both worlds. There's the idea of being made in the Akatar world, there's the drop and like first light and stuff in Midgard, but it's all dealing with the same actual stuff. And then there's the idea of mates and everything. So yeah, it's just interesting how Sarah J. Maas created these two worlds that essentially are comprised of the same things but are completely different. Like I just love how she did that. I'm sure Throne of Glass, I think that they started mentioning perhaps the Throne of Glass world because they started talking about like Fae that were like just shifters, and I'm like, are they from the Throne of Glass world? I'm not sure yet, but I'm sure it's all connected somehow. I am enjoying every second of Nesta Archeron. It honestly, in the best way, I mean this in the best way possible, feels like high octane fan fiction. Sarah is just giving the people what they want. I also have been reading in my new oodie. I have this cute little hood, which is like the most comfortable robe I've ever had in my life. Jean-Luc has been stealing it from me since I got it a few days ago because he wants to wear it so badly because it's so comfortable. They sell robes, but they also sell a lot of like wearable blankets, and they have all of these really fun, like colorful styles and designs and stuff. And they have some neutral ones too, if that's more kind of like your route. I'm always trying to elevate my reading game with comfort but also like style. I got this pink robe from them in a size small. I'm 5'4", and they do run a little big, so this is what a size small looks like on me. But yeah, if you want to check out the rest of their stuff, click the link below. You can use my code EmilyKeith35 for $35 off your order. I think this company has a lot of great stuff for cozy reading sessions. I'm going to be basically living in this robe all weekend. I remember reading a fan theory a few days ago that was like the possibility that Rune and Rhys and Rowan are like Prince brothers or something like that, and that's an interesting thought because I think they all have really similar like character descriptions. Didn't Bryce say that Rhys looked exactly like Rune or something? They all start with R. Like, I don't know. I think that's a fun theory. We'll see. Okay, so I basically decided to reread the like 20 pages of what's her name? Celine. All of her stuff. I'm almost done rereading it. So does Bryce just have parasites in her? Like after you make the drop, I assume that you still have the parasites in you. The Asteri just chooses not to do anything with them. Is that like correct? Yeah, this is just a lot of history and exposition that is like not really connected to like a first-hand like experience. It's just kind of regurgitated and it's just a lot of information. So yeah, I'm almost done rereading it. Yeah, this is a lot of information. Because Bryce and I guess Rune are descendants of Thea because of the Starborn thing. And then Rhys is a descendant of Thea's daughter. So Bryce is related to Rhys. Bryce and Rune are both related to Rhys. Right? Like, what is happening? I'm so overwhelmed. Okay, crazy theory here. Eating chocolate. Sorry. The Asteri Valg? I don't know. I feel like Sarah J. Maas has the highest IQ on this planet. Like, how do you come up with this stuff and tie it all together? Because that would track. It's like these two beings are kind of the most feared, powerful evil in both of the worlds, I think. Like the King of Hybern had like nothing on the Valg, like Erewhon and whatever, and like Maeve. It feels like the Asteri are more comparable to those characters, so I'm just kind of like, and they go between worlds too, like they were in their other world. If we can like see Nesta go home to Cassian, like that would be a nice reprieve. Something about the merging of the worlds that I'm also enjoying is like like the technology obviously that Midgard has, and like Nesta being like, what is this contraption with drawings of you and your friend? It's like a phone and like photos taken on the phone, but also just like the colloquialisms. Bryce is like a millennial. The female Asteri is like waking up. She's like, I'm your god, I'm your master slave, and like Bryce just responds with, get like, that's not something that Nesta or Azrael or like anyone in the ACOTAR world would really like have in their lexicon. It creates like a really fun opportunity for humor, but also like, oh no, there's an Asteri now that has been woken up. It's not good. It's not a good situation. So this female in the coffin was one of the Asteri that made, like literally like capital M made the cauldron. This is epic. Every time we're with Nesta and Bryce and then the next paragraph starts with Therian, I'm like, oh, I don't care, you know? I'm sorry. I love Therian, but like, I can't go from like Nesta and Bryce to Therian and not be like a little let down. Nesta, Worm, and Asteri Slayer. Thank you. The badassery makes me emotional. I'm starting to get the dynamic of Bryce starts the fights and Nesta finishes them. And I think that they make such a good team for that reason. And I'm obsessed with the dynamic. And like, Adriel's just like chilling. He's just like, I love her. No! I just realized I think I called, whatever. I love her so much. Also, like, again, where's Azrael? Like, you know, Bryce is like, no, I can't do it. And Nesta's like, do it. And then she's like, And it's like, where's Azrael? He's probably, like, running to get Rhys. He's probably like, Rhys, we need your help. It's like, we don't need your help. Like, Nesta's got it. Nesta's got it, okay? I'm gonna get that tattooed on my forehead. Nesta's got it. Don't, like, become Nesta's enemy because she will decapitate you. Like, you will not have your head. So if you want to keep your head, don't test Nesta Archeron, okay? Don't test her. Okay, so Ethan like ran away. And then Therian's like, this is all my fault, but they're on the ship. And now we're back. And it's almost the end of part 1. No, I wanted to go back to the House of Wind. Oh no. I'm fine. I'm like, is that all of Nesta that we get? Like, is that it? Are we done? Is she coming back? Do I have to read the rest of this book without her? Like, why didn't you just bring Nesta back with you? Like, she literally can kill the Asteri. Can you just, like, take Nesta back with you so I can keep reading about Nesta and she can just kill all the Asteri and then you guys can become besties and just be badass together? I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm good. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine. Okay guys, I have a quick update. I'm a little more than halfway done. I'm on page 488, chapter 54. Once Nesta left the picture, like, I'm still reading as fast, and I'm definitely really interested and really drawn into the story, but like part of me did die when Nesta left the chat. I'm also just like annoyed at Bryce a little bit because I'm like, Nesta literally killed an Asteri in front of you, and now you're just like, I just need to figure out how to kill the Asteri. It's like, well, you could have asked Nesta nicely if she would come do it for you. I mean, she might not have agreed to go, but she definitely would have taught you how to do it. And now they're like literally going to hell, I think. I think her and Hunt are literally on their way to hell. I'm really curious about the Hines story about her kids. I feel like having children is probably what caused her to like turn into a good person. I wonder who the dad is. I really don't actually have any predictions other than like, obviously I feel like Pollux, but I feel like that's like the obvious one. I did get my hands on the audiobook, and I will say, I like the actor that does this audiobook is great, but there are just some audiobooks for like personal reasons that reading the actual book, just have a better experience like reading the actual book. There are certain characters whose voices are very different in my mind than in this specific audiobook, and I'm not saying that either is right or wrong, I'm just saying my own experience reading it. The voices sound different. Obviously the ones in my head are the ones that I connect to more. So I really have been reading almost all of this with my own eyes and have been really enjoying it. I love, I think, Flynn's little sister who just married Therian. That's an interesting development. The king of that land, I forget what it's called, but like Conrad's dad sucks. I hope this isn't the end of Nesta, or just like, I'd be happy even if like someone else from that world showed up, but I want it to be Nesta since she actually knows how to kill the Asteri. Just wanted to pop in and say, I'm on page 5, like 60 something. Rune just killed the Autumn King, and I got emotional. Just him pledging allegiance to the queen. It's just like... So when they went to hell, the demon princes or whatever, they were like, we have these crowns on our head and they're supposed to control us, but they can't control us. But the Asteri like uses them to control people or something. And I'm like, this makes me think even more that the Asteri are Valg. And they said that like some of the other demon princes or whatever were fighting other battles in other worlds. And I'm just like, definitely in Aylin's world that is happening. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm exactly right here, but I feel like there is definitely a Throne of Glass thing happening. Like the seeds are being planted, you know what I mean? I think Rune is maybe my favorite character in this. I think he's just like, I love him. I don't know. Gonna keep reading. Catch you later. Bryce killing Morven. The badassery makes me emotional. I don't know what else to say. I've always loved Bryce, but I feel like this book, I'm really starting to be like, oh, like I think I might, Nesta aside, I think it's like Aylin, Bryce, Feyre. I was never like a super Feyre girly. I love Feyre, don't get me wrong. Yeah, oh my god, Bryce and Aylin together, scary in the best way. Okay, I'm on my phone because Jean-Luc is using the camera for an audition. Nesta's back and has come to save the day yet again. Honestly, like, I don't know what took Bryce so long to return to Nesta to give her all of the answers. Okay, I'm editing this video right now, and I was watching the part where I was talking about how I thought that the Asteri were Valg, and we did get to the part where Bryce, she put the first Asteri into the, like, nothing space, and I remember the place that the Valg came before, like, Maeve described it as, you know, it wasn't green, it wasn't whatever, like, it was just dark and, like, awful. Like, is Maeve this Asteri? Like, I don't know. That might be wild. I just got really excited, so I wanted to let you know. Okay, thanks. Okay, good morning, guys. I finished the book last night. I'm getting ready for work, but I just wanted to give you my final thoughts really quick. Okay, when Rune shot Lydia, I was just like, you idiot. Like, that was so stupid. I just did not understand that. I mean, I understand why he thought that was a good choice, but like I don't understand why he thought that was a good choice. I guess like shooting people in this world is a little different than our world. I think they recover like a lot quicker. And I'm just like, you created a situation that you were trying to avoid by doing that, and also like you guys would have been a lot stronger had you gone in together. Yeah, the scene with Lydia and her kids, I felt so bad for her when they were taken. Afterwards, when I think Bran called her mom, like it just, I like got a little teary-eyed. I really grew to love Lydia so much. I'm just very happy for her. I love the way her relationship with her sons was written. I think it was just beautiful. And yeah, and then like when Lydia like comes into her power, I just love how Sarah J Maas loves all of these like fire-breathing women. It's like when I feel like whenever a woman comes into her power in a Sarah J Maas book, there's fire involved, and as an Aries, like I appreciate that. Let's talk about like the kind of like the end of the book. The whole thing with Jessica, it felt a little like not random, but it was kind of like, oh, like okay, that kind of came out of nowhere. Like it was just weird that like Jessica was the reason that it all worked out. I mean, they were all obviously the reason that it all worked out, but Jessica was the reason that Bryce didn't die. She just felt, I guess, to me, like too much of like a tertiary character to like have that much of an influence. The end of the book, it felt a little, you know, I love Sarah J Maas, but it just felt a little like we've done this a lot of times before. The end of the book felt very similar to what I would expect from a typical Sarah J Maas book, and I think I was also let down a little bit because I was expecting a Throne of Glass thing to happen at the end with the whole like Erd used to be word. Also, that was a thing that happened. The ending with Jessica specifically felt a little weird, although the scene with them reminded me of the scene with like Harry and Dumbledore when Harry like dies and Dumbledore's there and he's like, Dumbledore, I can't with Dumbledore, but it just reminded me, like Jessica reminded me of Dumbledore in that moment. Even though like the plot of the ending was a little bit like, that felt really easy, I knew Bryce wasn't gonna die because she's the main character. Like Sarah would never do that, you know, so I just like the stakes weren't super high, or as high as they probably should have felt at the end, just because I knew that everyone was gonna be okay, regardless of like the plot just being like a little predictable for me. And again, I don't know if it would have felt as predictable if it didn't feel like a lot of the ends of other Sarah J Maas books, but that's just kind of what my experience of it was. But even so, I still love the end a lot because I love, like genuinely love all of the characters, and it was kind of nice for them to get this like happy ending. Oh, and the moment where like Bryce saw the seven and like Danica, like that made me emotional. Okay, let's talk about Nesta again. I was so happy when she came back. I loved her and Ember's thing, like when she got the hug from the mom that she never had. I love Ember. I love Nesta. Like, I kind of wanted like Ember and Randall to stay. That would have made sense, you know? I love how like Randall and Reese bonded. Like I wanted to see more of that happening, but I think it's also nice that like Sarah J Maas kind of left it up to our imaginations to like think about how that all kind of went down. Nesta's moments with Ember were so precious, and I want Ember and Nesta to be able to like visit each other. It was so special. Also, when Bryce is like, you have this tattoo, this like 8-pointed star tattoo on you too, Nesta, like why don't you take this sword and figure out why? I was like, that's setting up for more Nesta plot, right? Sarah J Maas would not put that in there if she didn't plan to do more stuff with Nesta, right? I know Sarah's been working on, I guess, the 6th ACOTAR book, and so it gives me faith that that will be invested in Nesta in some way. So that's it. I gave it a 4.25 as of now. Like there was part of me as I was reading and I was like, this is 5 stars. But then there was another part of me that was like, I don't know. I feel like in general, I set myself up for thinking that the whole thing was going to be a spin-off. I was expecting the characters of ACOTAR to be a little bit more involved, but I don't really think that's fair for like the rating. I mean, they were very involved and it was very fun and very cool that they were in it at all, and they were heavily in the first part. So, you know, I don't know if that expectation is like a fair one to base my rating of the book after. I really grew to love Bryce in this in a way that I just wasn't there in the first 2 books. It just wasn't a 5-star read for me. There are parts of it that were, but I felt like it was a little predictable, and that's the only reason why I didn't give it 5 full stars. Anyway, I have to get ready for work now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, don't forget, you can get your oodie. It's like hoodie, but without the H. I don't know if that was clear. You can get your oodie for $35 off your order with my code EmilyKeith35. Again, I'll put the link in the description below. Oh, I'm gonna be away for the next 2 weeks, so my uploading schedule is gonna be a little irregular, but they're gonna be really good videos. Stay tuned. Okay.